Welcome to use your PLR.com's power. My name is Jenn Brockman, and I'm sitting in for Rachel Youngson, who is out with a doctor's appointment, I believe, and hopefully she'll be able to join us later on. I am going to be walking you through how I use my Google Drive to store the majority and sort the majority of my digital files. I have a couple of links that are in the chat box. The first link goes to a product that you can buy. You'll have to scroll down the page. The first couple of options show that they are sold out, but the very bottom option is actually the one that you would want anyway, and they do have some left. But it's a lifetime unlimited account to Google Cloud. So you get unlimited storage space in Google Drive. That's actually what I've been using for a little over a year now, I think. I really like mine, and I'm nowhere near running out of room. So, I mean, technically you're not supposed to be able to run out of room, but I've not had any issues with it either. So the second link is just to my main PLR site. I sell planners and journals and workbooks, and I sell the templates for those so that you can buy them and alter them with using Google Slides or using PowerPoint, and you can brand them yourself. You can change interiors, you can change wording, fonts, all of that kind of stuff. So, okay, Kat, no problem. It should be, Greg, you know what, I will just drop him back in here. I added it earlier to the chat box, so it should be at the very, very top, but I'll just drop him back in here again. So the top link of those two is for that. Oh, I think it sent it to you privately. Let me see if I can do that publicly. However you want. I'm just going to repost that. Okay. That should be public. Okay, so let me figure out how to share my screen, and we will get right into that. Bear with me. While I've done this before, I don't believe, well, it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit since I've done it, so that's just all there is to it. Okay, guys, let me know if you cannot see my screen. I have to figure out. Oh my goodness. All right. Now I'm not sure. All right, I'm looking for the chat box now that I'm sharing my screen, and I'm not really sure where it's at. If you hear giggling in the background, my daughter's home from camp today. And I will warn you, I do have dogs, and they might get yappy if somebody makes noise outside. And I also have a dove, a pet dove. She sounds kind of like an owl sometimes, so, but she's not generally too noisy. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, you see it, good. All right, I'm gonna go back to sharing, and I'm just gonna get started. Okay, guys, so what you're looking at is my main Google Drive page that I was talking about earlier, my unlimited account that I bought a little over a year ago. So what you're looking at within here are files, different kinds of files down here, and then up here, these are actually folders. And before we dig in too far, I will show you that you can kind of change the way that you view your layout. I'm sure some of you are familiar with Google Drive, but for anyone who is not, I'll go ahead and show you this option. So you can have it laid out in list form. I tend to be more visual, so I like to use this way, where it just lays it all out in boxes. Um, so some of the questions that came up when I asked in the group, what kind of, what do you need to know about organizing your digital files, or what do you need help with? And some of the people said, they just don't know how to organize it, whether to organize it by category or by, where they bought it from, or by the use that they need to put it into, like blog posts or all of that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be perfectly honest here. It's really going to depend on what you are most comfortable with and what you find works best for you. I believe that I had shared, that my organizational skills have changed over time. I've been a long time buyer of PLR. I run several different blogs in several different niches. So if I showed you my old Google Drive account, you would see it's a little more messy. So I really think that it comes down to what makes the most sense for you. If it makes more sense to, like, let's say you bought something from Rachel's Whole Food PLR store, and you're going to use it on your blog, which is all about, recipes and food and stuff. Does it make more sense for you to put it into a folder that's related to Rachel, or does it make more sense for you to put it into a folder where it's all about the stuff that you're going to use on that particular website? Let me see if I can kind of demonstrate that a little bit. So when we're looking at mine, you can see, I've got one that says Amazon, I've got one that says blog posts, bonuses, bundles. You can kind of see all of those. So what I have tended to do, what I found that has worked for me this last year specifically is I have created folders that are specifically related to what my products are that I'm offering on my businesses or on my websites. So JJ is for Jenny Journals. And then PJPLR was actually the site that I was using before I had to switch over to Planning Addicts. So I'm still offering the same products, but I had to change my website midway through. It was kind of just a screwy situation. So I moved it over, and now all of those products sit inside of Planning Addicts. And within these folders, I'll show you here in a little bit, that's where I keep all of the links and all of the information and all of the files and stuff that I actually sell as products through my websites. So I've got those. And then this thing that says blog posts, these are actually, it's PLR, written PLR, that I use to put on one of my blogs. And I actually have a virtual assistant who does that for me. So everything that got put into here, she has access to. So she can go through at her leisure and pick and choose what she wants to post, and she can edit them, and then she can also mark them as used after she's used them. This is related to products that I have put up on Amazon. So some of my planners I have turned into actual hardbound books that you can buy through Amazon's KDP. And so this houses everything that is related to those files that I've uploaded there. And so that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea, an overall of how things are making sense for me right now. But let's dig in a little bit more here. So I'm going to go over kind of how I'm using this to share things on my own website. And then I'll go through, and because I have a whole folder just for the PLR that I buy, and we'll go into how I organize that. But I just kind of want to show you a little bit of an overview of how Google Drive works and how visually it makes sense to me. So, okay, and then I will do this for just a few more minutes, and then we'll move on to a different folder. And in between there, I'll go back and check and see what your comments are, if I can figure out how to get back there. Okay, so I came into my Planning Addicts folder, and then you can see I have subfolders, and then I have some just loose files that I haven't categorized yet. These are kind of like my license roles, and basically this last week I decided, well, I needed to do a different layout, so I just created a document right here inside a drive, which is awesome for me. I don't have to go to 14 places. I created that, and then I've just made copies. And as I've needed a new one to put into a different folder, I just make a copy and move it up there, which is awesome too. Okay, so each one of these, except for the affiliate payout, but each one of these is it's a product that I have for sale on my website. This is the most recent one that I've done. And you can see when I open that up, I have my original files that I designed in and then resized. I have the PDF that I made for it. There's that licensing paper or page rather. And then up here I have a subfolder called downloads. And what this is, it houses the actual downloadable files that the customer gets. Here's the awesome part. So some of you may use like Amazon's S3 for hosting your files. I can do that from here. And all I have to do is right click on that and click on share. And from here, you can get a shareable link, or you can come down here. I've obviously already done that. You can set this to different options as well. So you can make it public, which you don't want to do. You can make it anywhere with the link. These are related to the service that I bought from. And then you could make it just shared with specific people by using their email. So all I do is set it to anyone with the link. And then I grab this, and what it does is it creates a zip file download. So when I share that and somebody buys from my site, they get a downloadable zip file. And I don't have to do anything extra special. I just send them that link. It's pretty cool. And I have slowly been going through and setting up all of my products to be that way. Before that, I was using, because of the setup that I was using, I had to create a page with the links inside the page, and I would turn that into a PDF and send that. Because that was just the way the things were set up. So give me just a second, and I'm going to go see if I can figure out how to see the chat box again. It seems like there ought to be an easier way to do this. Okay, hi Angel. All right, does anybody have any questions so far that they want me to address specifically or go back over? Hi, Carolyn. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing, and I'll show you guys my PLR folder. All right, so I'm going to go back to my drive, and I'm going to come down here. Okay, so here, actually, here's one more thing before I go into that. So I also have a folder just for training. So these are things that are not necessarily PLR, but they're obviously they're trainings. They're things that I have bought or signed up for where I can learn things. And it's easier for me to keep them here because I can access it no matter where I'm at. Sometimes when I go to my day job, we're really slow, and I can actually access my my Google Drive from work when it's slow, and I can, you know, kind of do stuff that I need to do or want to do. On the weekends, I'm not at my own house, so I can just get on my laptop and I can get in here and do work that I want to as well. That's one reason why I prefer to save things here rather than on my desktop. Not to mention that I've had quite a few desktops die over the years, so totally, I'm not in love with saving things on a hard drive necessarily. So, okay, so you can see here I have a folder with you know, stuff with PLR rights. I don't get too creative with my names, do I? And then over here I have one that says social posters. So some of you probably know I participate in quite a few bundle sales where you pay one price and then you get access to a whole bunch of different products from different creators. Well, I have bought quite a few different social poster packs over the last year, and I was having trouble remembering where they all were when I wanted to get them set up in my social media poster thing. So I put them all, I took, you know, an hour or so and put them all into one file. Now you can see up here that I have like the original files of where they came from, but then I just put in the files generally into that main folder so that I can see them. It's easy for me to see them. I can grab them and download them, you know, when I know that I want to schedule those, and it holds all of them in one place. So visually, it's great for me because I know what I'm looking at, and I know I'm not going to end up sharing something more than once that I don't mean to. So yeah, those things all started off as, you know, PLR rights or whatever. I can add my branding to them. But I was finding that I was having trouble sorting out who they came from and where they came from. So I just decided to create that folder just for them. Okay, so before I move on to there, so my in progress file, this is where I typically move something that I'm working on or that I want to be working on to turn it into something for me to sell. So down here, I was actually creating videos about how to edit other people's stuff and make them your own. I have something from one of our members, Dee Powers. I think that's her name, Dee Powers. I had started doing work on it as part of my video series. So I've moved it into this folder. I'm not going to open that. It'll take a second since I'm on video. But you can see it's down here so that I can continue working on it. This is actually done, and I should move this out of here because it's one of the planner packs that I've already uploaded, and it's for sale on my site. So I need to move that out. I was telling, sorry, I forgot your name. Oh my goodness. I was telling somebody just as before we started recording that you guys would be seeing that there's still a lot of cleanup to do, but it does help me get a little more organized. And for me, I'm a visual learner, so being able to see it helps me out a lot. But obviously some of this stuff, you know, like I said, this one's been already used. So has this one. So I really need to move those into their respective files or just delete them. Okay, so coming in here to the stuff with PLR rights. Okay, so this kind of seems a little visually overwhelming, but let me go over this top half. These are all files that I have, or folders rather, that I have created related to either the maker, where I bought them, or probably just the actual file that was opened. The stuff that's down here, these are all my zipped files that I've uploaded, and I just have not either removed them or unzipped them yet. So trying to see. Okay, so like this bottom one, I just got this new pack from someone last night to test out. I didn't even open that. So if you double click it when you're inside of Google Drive, you can actually unzip it and it will turn it into its own file, which is right here. So I can open that up. And if I go further into there, you'll see all the files are stored in it, right inside of it. So what I would actually end up doing, because I think I'm going to probably use quite a few things from this particular creator, is I would go ahead and create a new folder just for that person. So I believe her site's name is Easy Pod Packs. So I would just do that. And then I would move that student thing up here. And if I were worried about, because I have not made a duplicate of this particular file before I started kind of playing around and editing in it, I would actually keep the zip file and I might move that into that folder as well, just for now. So what I would do later, as I have, so like you can see that they're both in that overall folder now. If I decided later that I wanted to create something out of this and actually upload it somewhere to use it and sell it, then I would make a copy of that, of those files. I don't think you can make copies of folders. No. But if I open that folder and I decide I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this PowerPoint slide before I start using it, so that if I decide I want to make another one or a different layout or something like that later, I can, and it won't get lost. But what I would do then is move the one that I'm currently working in. I would move it to my in progress file right here. Well, where is it? Did I move it the right way? Let's hit refresh. There it is. Okay, it's right down here. So, so then I can continue working on that, and I will know that I still have a copy of the other one. Now, something else that you could do, if you want to be able to keep track of what you have used and what you haven't used from a particular folder, is we'll go back into the PLR rights. And Easy Pod Packs, we'll go back to that. And so here, we can open that back up. Quite a few folders there. I would probably clean some of that up. What I could do here is rename this and say, and just relabel it as used, you know, at something, you know, wherever I was going to use it at. You just change the name of it so that you know where it's been used at if you reuse your PLR quite a bit. However, I don't worry about that too much. Once I have use something, I either don't use it or I'm only going to reuse it from my own end product. So I'm not too worried about whether I've used PLR in more than one place or not. So hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to go back and check for any comments or questions from everybody. Maybe, if I can figure it out again. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions or any comments or anything like that. So if you have some, feel free to take a minute and stick them in here. We're at about the halfway mark, and I don't know that I have a whole lot left to show you specifically. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what I do know. So I'm happy, you know, for anybody who wants to share their wins or what they're working on this week. If you want to talk, just, you know, drop your name in here or say, yes, I will, or whatever you want to do. And I will go through and unmute people and talk to you as well. Or if anybody wants to actually ask me a question verbally, that's fine too. Alrighty, guys. So no questions? Everybody still hear me okay? I didn't like manage to knock myself off of here, right? And for anyone who is joining late, okay, thanks, Carol. For anyone who's joining late, my name is Jenn Brockman, and I'm sitting in for Rachel because she's out on a appointment. Hopefully she'll be able to join us before we end today, but there's no guarantee of that. So anyway, if you have questions about organizing or anything like that, drop them in the chat box. I'd be happy to tell you how I do it. I cannot at all tell everybody how they should be doing it because we're all so different. And I'd be happy to hear how everybody else likes to organize their things too. I know somebody in the group responded to my question saying that they like to organize by subject. So, and I did that for a while, but my problem ended up being that I had folders related to, you know, like the different blog categories that I was using. And I would be confused about where I got something or who I used it from. So I ended up just going back to doing, you know, to storing by where I bought it from. So if I bought stuff from Rachel, it all goes into a folder with her name on it. Yeah, exactly, Angel. That's what I was getting ready to say too, is kind of depending on how many different places that you're going to be using it at, you can break that further down. So if you buy stuff from Rachel and you use some of it on your blog posts or you use some of it on social media, you can create even more folders, you know, from as a breakdown from there. Yeah, Carol, I do. I don't know necessarily whether it's any less safe, because I kind of feel like, you know, from what I've seen, once somebody has that that final S3 drive, they can share, or not the drive, but the final S3 link, they can kind of share that anyway. So, and I haven't really run into any issues with it. Hi, Heather. No problem. There will be. Hopefully I hit the record button correctly and it looks like it's recording, so there should be a replay. Yeah, and so you know what? That's another thing I wanted to address too. Even if, let me see if I can go back here. So one of the things that's pretty awesome, and I'm not saying that this doesn't work in other platforms as well, but one of the things that I really like about using Drive to organize things, like, so these are my, let me see. So like, let's say this was something I was working on, this particular file right down here that says Talon. It's actually something I created for one of my friend's sons to use. But let's say I wanted to put that somewhere else. It's so easy. I can just drag it and drop it to wherever I want to put it. So, you know, I just drag it there. And the reason I keep getting that pop up is I actually am sharing pretty much my entire drive with one of my other Google accounts. So every time I move something, I get that, which is a little annoying. So, but then all I have to do is open this up and it should be right there. There it is, right there. And then I can further organize that, just like, you know, just like you saw in my other one. So kind of like Angel was saying, if you organize by category or by seller, and actually, I can just give you a real quick rundown of how to do that. Let me get to the right place though. I'm trying to think, who do I have several things from? You can see I've also created things for each of the bundles where I actually downloaded stuff. When I first started, I had created a bundle where I uploaded or I moved over files of everything that I had contributed. But I decided not to do that, and I just made a document where I wrote in what I offered, where I offered it, when I offered it, and how it was offered, whether they had to go through my cart or through a mailing list to get it. Because it started getting kind of confusing. Like, did I only offer this at that place, or did I offer it more than one place? So I quit actually moving files into a folder just for my bundle downloads. And I just created a document that said what I had offered. Okay, so let's go to Coach Glue. I have a few things from them. So like from in here, if I opened up the 65 Done For You blog post, if I were to decide that I wanted to use them, you know, in 5 different places, like if I had a business blog and so on, then I could create a new folder. It says, you know, and then I could open this up. And I haven't really looked too deep into this, but so like I could move this whole thing. What I did was I picked up that folder and moved it back into the main folder up here. So you can see that's right there. And I could say, well, I just want to use those on my business blog. And maybe I have a personal blog. I'm not getting too detailed here. And then I would come in here and grab, oh, I don't know. These are all kind of businessy, but hopefully this will give you the idea. And so then I go back to that main file folder. And I'm going to grab those and put those into my personal blog. And from there, I can open up either one of those and edit them. So that's kind of niching down in your file folders, kind of like Angel was saying. And I have done that. And if I like I said, before I was running the businesses that I am now, I needed to do that because I had several different, very, with a big variety of topics. So I had to really keep them separated and ordered out. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the chat box and see what everybody's been saying. Okay, so let me go back up here and read through some of these. So yes, I answered Carol. Alrighty, Heather wants to know if I recommend sharing with our other personal Google accounts, and what are the benefits of doing that? She's got one Google Suite email account for a business, but I'd like to access the PLR stuff through another Google account. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. Is this particular account I only use it for business stuff, but I have several personal accounts, and I can share these files that I've been showing you today with my personal account. I only share it with that email in particular, with my personal Gmail email. The main reason to do it is just so that you kind of have quick access to sharing things if you need to from a different account. Or if you're like trying to separate something. I'm probably not explaining that very well, but yes, you can. That's the base answer. Angel says she uses PC Cloud because she got a lifetime access from AppSumo. AppSumo is awesome for stuff like that. I don't think I've heard of PC Cloud before though, but there's a million of them out there. And one more thing too is anytime you sign up for a Gmail account, you get free access to Google Drive, but you are limited. You can actually buy extra storage through Google. I don't remember how much it is. It's probably really inexpensive. I was slightly worried when at one point about running out of room because I've had so many different businesses over the last, 5 years probably. And then this last year, I really settled in and narrowed down to this. And when I saw the offer to buy the lifetime unlimited plan, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll try that. So, and I've had no issues with it. Oh, okay. Yep, Greg, I will go back and get it. Okay, so Greg asked, if you sell an item for download, can you place it on Google Drive? And if so, is there a way to limit or track who downloads it? Greg, okay, so yes, you can, because that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for quite a while. As it comes to limiting, like I showed a little bit ago, you can set it to be anyone with the link, and only the people who buy the product get the link. Or you can set it to individual emails, of your customers. But there's no automated way to do that. So you can't just tell your shopping cart to add that particular person. Well, I shouldn't say that there's not. I'm not aware of there being a way that you can have your shopping cart or whatever tell your Google Drive, to only let people in with certain emails. I don't know that there's an automation way to do that. And then as it comes to tracking downloads, there may be, but I'm not sure. What I have seen, what I've been doing, and some of the tracking will come down to what you use as a payment processor or what your shopping cart tracks. And then you can also use something like Pretty Links to kind of track how many people are downloading. So if I turn my download link from Google Drive into a Pretty Link on my WordPress site, then I can kind of see how many times it's been downloaded. And if that coincides with, how many of that product I've sold, then I have kind of a rough idea. Beyond that, I'm not aware of there being something specific for tracking. There might be, though. I just haven't dug in and looked. Okay, so those are good questions. Great questions. And you know what? I might actually even dig in to look at that if I can make some time. Okay, so we've got just about 19 minutes according to my clock. Did anybody want to share anything about what's going on with them? Okay, Greg, I see that you also asked, is it a personalized link? Okay, let me just see if I can show you. Let me grab one. Hold on. Let me go grab my free thingy. Actually, let me go back to sharing this too. So share. I didn't think about it. There's probably a way to open up another window so that I don't have to keep unsharing everything. Okay, let me go back to my drive. I don't remember. See, I don't remember where I have this stored. I'm still working on getting my organization down too. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to share this file with you. So I just right-clicked on the folder or on the file itself. I'm going to click on share. Click on shareable link. Okay, actually, let me go back there. Share. Okay, so down here, if I wanted to share it only with a few people, like if I wanted to just put your email in here, Greg, I would do that. And then I can make it so that you can edit it, or you can only comment, or you can only view it. So you can do that, but when it comes to like selling stuff through a shopping cart, you can see that would be tedious to have to come in here after somebody orders. Besides that, they have to wait, to get their link. So that's not very fun. So if you put it on anyone with the link, you grab the link. All right, and then I'm going to share just this raw link in, oops, not what I wanted to do, in here. I'll figure it out in a minute, sorry. Carol, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think so. I think you have to create a new account from what I'm aware of. Although, like I've kind of shown and talked about, you can connect it to one of your existing accounts. But when it gets set up, it creates a new account, I believe. Okay, so Greg, this is, and Carol, I see that you'll take a turn at chatting. So let me just show. So this is just the ugly old Google Drive link. But what you could do if you wanted to make that nicer looking is you can create a pretty link, which is a free WordPress plugin. You could create your own pretty link that would look you know, something more like, you know, you could create something that looks like that, that would go to that same download. And then if you, right, if you click on that, you should be able to open up that file and download it yourself. Not the bottom one, because that's just one I made up on the fly, but that top one, the uglier one. Okay, guys, if I got everybody's questions, I would love to open it up for everybody else to chat. And Carol, if you're ready, I'll start with you if I can remember how to do it. Let me see. Carol. Okay. Unmute. All right, Carol, can you want to chat?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yay, I did it.
Great. I just wanted to share that I've had a really incredible last 30 days in publishing on Amazon, and it just feels so good to have crossed the line to actually having stuff there to sell. And part of it was inspired by being on this every week, and then added the low content publishing challenge that Maria Silvo did, and that really got me going. So now I have a total of 5 journals plus a quote book on Amazon, and that's all from May 24th on.
Awesome.
So it just, because I've done so many journals so close together, I think I've actually learned the process.
Yes.
Which really helps, because you do something very sporadically and it's like starting all over.
I totally agree. And since I've actually gone through that process, I know what you're talking about. And yeah, I feel the same way. Like if you do several of them back to back, you really like get it stuck in your head that you know how to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm so happy for you. I know you've been sharing that and Rachel has been cheering you on, but I have been too, just kind of in the background.
Yeah. And so the 4 of the journals in particular are based on or inspired by PLR that I bought.
Oh, awesome.
So that's great. And so now that I've got that down, I want to start creating some other PLR-based products that I can sell. And this thing about storing those products on your Google Drive was really inspiring.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that it helped. So if you don't mind, I have a question about the journals that you're making. And you said they're inspired by PLR. Can you tell me a little bit more about that process?
Oh, it has varied between them, but this one is a reading journal, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I had bought a couple of book journal PLR pieces, and I got some ideas from them, but it wasn't kind of the format that I wanted or the kind of graphics I wanted. So I took some ideas from those and created my own, basically.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. I have done
Others I took pieces of and just added to.
Yeah. No, I've done that with some of the stuff that I've created too, where I've seen, especially written PLR, and I thought, well, you know what, that would be great to turn it into kind of a workbook or a journal, you know, that kind of uses the base seed and turns it into questions that kind of help people get started with what they're trying to work through.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's great. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, Carol. So how many more do you plan on doing?
This week, one of the things I'm doing is planning my 3rd quarter. So I will know next week.
Okay. I don't plan that far ahead.
Usually I've got to try it, because otherwise the weeks just go by so fast, and all of a sudden, I mean, we're at June 25th. How did that happen?
I know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I was looking at, my daughter goes to summer camp, and I was looking at their calendar, and I'm like, what do you mean it's the 4th week already? There's no way it's the 4th week already. We haven't been into summer that long, but yeah, I guess we have.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. All right, Carol, Thank you. Was there anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. And congrats.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Was there anybody else who wanted to share? I'm guessing maybe that Miss Rachel's not going to make it back. Or I wonder if she can't get in because I'm on her account. I don't know. That's funny. I didn't even think about that. But she may just not be back yet, which is the whole reason she asked me to sit in and host. So, Greg, did you want to share anything today? Text or verbal, either way, I don't care. Or Brenda, if you're still here, or Kat, if you're listening. Okay, Greg, no problem. Or Carolyn. Was it Carolyn I was talking to before we started recording? I'm so sorry. If I saw you, I'd know who I was talking to, but now that I don't see anybody, I'm lost. If okay, Carolyn, no problem. Hi, Brenda. All right, well, if you guys want to share something, that would be great. Even if you just type it in, I can help read it off. If you don't have anything to share for the week, I think we can probably go ahead and end the session. I know I probably was a little bit scattered as I was showing you through Google Slide or Google Drive, but I hope it was helpful. I hope it kind of gives you some ideas of how to store your own stuff and how to sort your own things, and some of the capabilities of using Google Drive too for keeping all your digital files. And remember, I will, Brenda, if you have, if you need some clarification, feel free to reach out to me. You can get me on through the group, through the Use PLR group, or you can just look for me on Facebook directly and PM me that way. It's Jenn Alex Brockman on Facebook. I'm going to share my links one more time with everybody. Oh, no, I'm not. That's the ugly link from earlier. Let me grab this real quick. I'm hitting all kinds of the wrong buttons back here. Alrighty, so those are a couple of links for you if you guys want to check out that lifetime Google Drive account, you can. And then if you want to go check out my PLR, which is all planners and journals and stuff like that, templates, feel free to go do that. And I'm serious about that, Brenda. If you have more questions and you need some more clarification, let me know. I would be happy to walk you through it or try to point out some more things. And I just want to say thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me for this hour. And hopefully we'll get to see everybody next week. I think we'll go ahead and end for now. Bye, guys.